Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 9th of September and we are going to cover the most important topics in news. It also happens to be that today the G20 summit is starting in New Delhi, but we will be covering the details about the G20 summit from 11th onwards once the summit is completed. So we will be summing up whatever information is relevant for you guys. We will be bringing it from 11th of September onwards. So let's see what topics we are covering today. We are covering three topics. The first is India's look, which is now the Act East policy. Why this is in news? Because of the recently concluded the India-ASEAN Annual Summit and the East Asia Summit. Now, this policy actually focuses on the ASEAN region and the East Asian region, and let us look into the history of this particular policy in this particular topic which we will cover. Now, if we cover this, it will give completeness to the previously covered topics ASEAN and East Asia Summit, because this is the policy according to which we are integrating with them or attaching ourselves with them. So this should be clear in your head. Next is again one of the most talked about topics nowadays, that is the SANATAN DHARM controversy. Now, when I talk about SANATAN DHARM, Udhayanidhi Stalin, the sports minister of Tamil Nadu, actually gave a controversial remark in a public meeting. He went on to say that the SANATAN DHARM is not letting equality to usher in the society and hence is not letting social justice to prevail. It should be eradicated, just like we are working for eradication of diseases like malaria, dengue or COVID-19. Now, this particular remark sparked a lot of controversy. Many political leaders, have commented on this. But we as aspirants, we don't need to get into all this. But we should know the basics of SANATAN DHARM, that what is SANATAN DHARM, and this is what we are going to cover here in this topic. This is important from GS4, that is ethics point of view, because SANATAN DHARM enshrines many of the values and virtues which as a civil servant you need to have. Values of honesty, tolerance, values of hard work, values of not harming any human, generosity. All these values are enshrined in SANATAN DHARM, and from there we need to pick it up. Can mention in our answer scripts as well in the GS4 paper. Many political leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, they also pursued SANATAN DHARM. Swami Vivekananda was also one of the most, I would say, ardent follower of SANATAN DHARM. So we should look into the details of SANATAN DHARM, the etymology, from where this name has come from, what does this mean, all these. So that is going to be our focus here on this particular topic. Next is the BHASHINI platform. Now, when I talk about the BHASHINI platform, BHASHINI is an AI based platform. Artificial intelligence. What does it do? It is a translation platform. It translates from one language to the other language. Initially, when it was developed, it was for the Indian languages. But now it has been extended to the foreign languages like Spanish or French also. Now, Hindi to English, English to Hindi, Hindi to Spanish, English to Spanish. All the major languages of the world are here in this platform. It is developed by India. It is just like Google Translate. But why it is in news? Because in the G20 summit, which is going to be hosted at the Bharat Mandapam, in the media center of Bharat Mandapam, where the media personals will be there, a kiosk of BHASHINI platform has also been displayed. It is an attempt to showcase our digital progress. Obviously, it is part of the digital public infrastructure which India is going to talk about a lot during the G20 summits. So, we are wanting to showcase this BHASHINI platform there in the media center. So that is why it was in news. So we'll study the details of this BHASHINI platform. So let's begin. India's Look East, now Act East. The year was 1992 when India launched the Look East policy. Look East policy was all about integration with the ASEAN region economically and culturally. Since we had cultural similarities like Buddhism, Hinduism, so we also thought to bring in culture as an aspect of integration. 1992 was also the time when the Cold War was over, when we did LPG reforms and we wanted to forge international partnerships with many regions in the world. Southeast Asia at that time was the world's fastest growing economy. We had cultural similarities also, but that region was largely ignored before this. Why it was ignored before this? Because, the Cold War was going on and Southeast Asia is believed to be an ally of the West. And during Cold War, we preferred non-alignment. However, we started with our Look East policy in 1992 and, upgraded it to Act East policy in 2014. In Act East policy, we were integrating with the ASEAN region plus East Asian region and Australia. So we increased our geographical, I would say, arena for Act East policy. And in the Look East policy, we were integrating economically and culturally. Now in Act East policy, we were integrating economically, culturally and strategically also. So we increased our horizon here also. This is the difference between Look East and Act East. Look East started in 1992 by the P.V. Narasimha Rao government. Act East started in 2014 by the Narendra Modi government. So let us look into the details of this. Now, in order to recover from the loss of the strategic partner USSR, USSR was a strategic partner during the Cold War before 1991, and 1991 led to disintegration of USSR. We started to build up relationship with the USA. Cold War was fought between USA and USSR, and India was here, non-aligned. So India wanted to integrate with USSR, India wanted to integrate with USA also, whenever need be. This was actually the principle of non-alignment. Non-alignment did not mean that we were isolated. Non-alignment meant that whenever we wanted, we could integrate with any of the blocs during the Cold War and not being part of any of these blocs. This was the main principle of non-alignment. So USSR got disintegrated by 1991. There was only USA left. So we started integrating more with USA and its allies. And one of its allies was Southeast Asia. We also realized one fact that we have a lot of cultural similarities. Our religions, they overlap, like Buddhism is also followed by a lot of people in Southeast Asia. Hinduism is followed by a lot of people in Southeast Asia. The biggest Hindu temple complex, Angkor Wat, is there in Cambodia. But we were not integrated with them, although we had historical ties. But, integration in the modern times was not there because of the Cold War rivalries. So we thought of not only increasing our integration with USA, but also the allies of USA like Southeast Asia. And hence, we formulated the Look East policy. The Look East policy, rolled out by the P.V. Narasimha Rao government, aimed at integration with the ASEAN region. ASEAN, basically Association of Southeast Asian Nations. We've covered it in previous videos, but again, I will repeat the names of the 10 members who are in ASEAN. It starts from Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, then it comes Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, and one more is left, that is I think Thailand. So this was basically the 10 members of ASEAN, and we had to integrate with the ASEAN members on two aspects. One was economic integration and second was cultural integration, because cultural similarities were there. And this was the Look East policy. Look East policy was pursued by the future prime ministers as well. Atal Bihari Vajpayee pursued it diligently. Manmohan Singh pursued it diligently. But, during all these periods from 1992 till 2014, when we upgraded Look East to Act East, during this period, China started doing a lot of activities in the South China Sea. A lot of, I would say, expansionist activities. These expansionist activities were not, accepted well by these ASEAN countries. And they were looking to partner with some global superpowers so that they could give a signal or message to China that we have these kind of powers with us. USA was one such power and India was also one such power. So, India also decided to upgrade its policy from Look East to Act East in 2014. So, what is Act East? We will see. Act East, ASEAN integration with ASEAN countries, it was already there in the Look East, plus East Asian countries, plus Australia. So, earlier our focus was those 10 ASEAN countries. Now, from Japan till Australia, we wanted to integrate. On what aspects we wanted to integrate? Earlier in Look East, we were integrating on economic and cultural aspects. But now, strategic cooperation was the third aspect which was added in the Act East policy. Strategic cooperation simply means we'll be doing more and more defense and maritime exercises with them. We'll be doing defense trade with them. We'll be having intelligence sharing agreements with them. We will, overall, we will be contributing in strengthening their military capabilities. It does not mean that if they'll be attacked by China, we on their behalf will attack China. No, it does not mean that. It simply means what I just said before. Just to give them the confidence that we are here with you. And it was very well accepted by these ASEAN countries, East Asian countries and Australia also. This region, Indo-Pacific, where they are located, is, I would say, a hotbed of expansion, controversies and all. China is there wanting to expand. These countries obviously oppose this expansion. One of the major sea routes passes through this, region, the Strait of Malacca. So everyone wants presence over here, dominance over here. China, ASEAN, India, USA, everyone is looking at this region. And that is why this region has become so important. Now, Prime Minister of India highlighted 4 C's of the Act East policy. The first C is culture. Cultural integration we are talking about. Commerce, trade, it is part of economic integration. Connectivity. Connectivity is basically infrastructure connectivity, that is to cross-country connectivity. Now in the ASEAN Summit's 12-point proposal also we could see some, I would say, of the aspects of connectivity which the Prime Minister was talking about. One such example of connectivity projects is the India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway. Okay. Then Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, not Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar corridor. All these are, I would say, connectivity projects. He was also talking about not only transcending from ASEAN countries to India, but also taking it beyond to Central Asia and Europe. So connectivity is also one of the most sought after thing in the Act East policy. Capacity building. Obviously, connectivity will lead to better economic integration. There will be more flow of goods, services, people, tourism will increase. All these things will happen. That is pertaining to economic integration. Then capacity building. Capacity building is, it simply means that, we are building their capacity to do any economic activity. Let's suppose we are building a dam in their country or we are building roads in their country. or we are constructing any power plant in their country. It is actually building their capacity. Any investments done by India in infrastructure sector is pertaining to capacity building, which will increase their capacities to do more economic activity in the future, and hence this capacity building is also linked with economic integration. So these three linked with economic integration, culture linked with cultural integration, and that is what the Indian Prime Minister talks about, that Act East policy contains 4 C's, and these are the 4 C's. Now these type of, I would say, informations, or these type of, I would say, short forms and all, you can mention in your answers. This will make your answers unique. This will also, put a flavor of, I would say, freshness in your answer. So definitely try to use these things in your answer scripts when you're writing. Now let us see this Act East policy. Our earlier focus was here. ASEAN countries. Okay. Now our focus in East Asia or Act East policy is from here till here. It was earlier this Look East policy. Now it is Act East policy. This horizon has increased. This is obviously there in Act East. Now many experts or many students also ask, sir, when we are looking towards the East or when we are acting in the East, China is also there in the East. You see, from here India, East is China. So are we looking to integrate with China also economically, culturally, strategically? No. Actually, it is aimed at countering China's influence in this region. China has a lot of influence in this region. Economic influence, strategic influence. This is one of the main objectives, is to counter Chinese influence and increase Indian influence in this region. So China is per se not part of the Act East policy. One more thing you need to understand about the Act East is, this is our Northeast region. Now if our Northeast region is developed, then it will be easy for us to, make the Act East policy successful, because all the things can happen from Northeast only. Any goods are being manufactured, they can transcend or they can be transported from Northeast. It will save a lot of transportation costs, time and all. Plus, it will also lead to the development of Northeastern region, which has been largely neglected till now. Japan is helping us develop Northeast. Japan has invested a lot of money for infrastructure development in the Northeastern region. So it is very much important to develop the Northeast in order to truly make Act East policy successful, or truly reap the benefits of Act East policy. It will also, usher development in Northeastern region. So this is very, very important point while studying the Act East policy. So this is it. We are pursuing it. Integration with ASEAN, East Asia Summit, all are, through Act East policy only. The underlying policy is Act East policy. And it is very much close to the heart of the government of India. That is why maybe the Prime Minister was not able to ignore the request of Indonesian president when he was invited. He went there, he talked about a lot of things which we have already discussed. So this was remaining Look East, Act East. This has now also been covered. So it brings completeness to the particular topic. Now, the SANATAN DHARM controversy. Udayanidhi Stalin, the Tamil Nadu sports minister and the son of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, while addressing a public meeting, sparked some controversy. He gave these remarks that Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated, just like we are talking about eradicating diseases like malaria, dengue and COVID-19. Now, why did he say this? He had this logic that Sanatan Dharma is not promoting equality and social justice because there are evils like the caste system, biases against women prevailing in this Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is often referred to as modern day Hinduism. Sanatan, which means everlasting, and Dharma means natural law. So, everlasting natural law is Sanatan Dharma. The principles of this everlasting natural law are enshrined in Hinduism. What kind of principles? No, these are the values which are useful for GS4 ethics. These values are honesty, hard work, tolerance towards others, or I would say generosity, not harming the other humans. These are all values enshrined in Sanatan Dharma, and from these values, Hinduism has been formed. That is why it is referred to as modern day Hinduism. And in Hinduism only, we talk about dividing the society on the basis of caste. Actually, in the Rig Veda, the 10th mandala of the Rig Veda, we are talking about the caste system or the Varna system, where the Hindu society is divided into 4 castes: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. And according to Stalin, this division in the society has led to a lot of discrimination. And it is not letting equality to usher in, as well as social justice is also denied. That is why came those remarks. Many, noted personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, they have been ardent followers of Sanatan Dharma. But now, this call for eradicating Sanatan Dharma has led to a nationwide outcry. It has been condemned by many people, many religious seers, including many ministers also, like the Home Minister and the Finance Minister have given their remarks on that. The cabinet has also conducted a meeting, and the government is, formulating a response to this controversy, but presently the government is focused on concluding successfully the G20 summit. But we as aspirants, what we should know, what we should focus on in this particular episode or in this particular controversy, we should be focusing on what Sanatan Dharma is. What are the values which define Sanatan Dharma? So, this should be our focus, and this is, I would say, the key takeaway points for GS4, that is ethics. So, let us get started with this Sanatan Dharma controversy topic. Udayanidhi Stalin, Tamil sports minister, son of M.K. Stalin, is in storm for his remarks against the Sanatan Dharma. He compared the concept to diseases like malaria and dengue and called for its eradication. Sanatan Dharma is that which refers to the eternal truth of Hinduism. Now, we'll look into the details, but let's, first look into the elaboration of the particular statement given by Stalin. He said that Sanatan Dharma is against equality and social justice. Why against equality and social justice? Because Sanatan Dharma, which is actually modern day Hinduism, has divided the society into Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. It is mentioned in the Rig Veda. The Hindu society is divided into this. And Sanatan Dharma is modern day Hinduism. The lower ones, the Shudras particularly, are being discriminated against. And historically it has been proven. Now also we face or we witness some kinds of discriminations against the Shudras. When they are being dragged, they are being beaten, they are being discriminated in the schools. The children of upper castes are not willing to share their meals or eat alongside the members of the lower caste. These kind of incidents, they do pop up nowadays also. Then many Dalit women are raped by the upper caste Hindus. They are considered just as objects. Now all these things are still prevailing, and that is why Stalin said that it is denying equality to these people and social justice was also being denied. And that is why Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated. Because it all is there according to Sanatan Dharma. But does Sanatan Dharma teaches all this? Actually, when you read the texts carefully, the early Vedic period, there was no such discrimination. According to some scholars, there was vertical mobility also which was allowed among the caste system. But it was the later Vedic period when things started to get difficult for the lower caste. They were discriminated against heavily. It was a matter of interpretation of the texts which had mentioned about the caste system. I would say that in the later Vedic period, some misinterpretation of the text has led to discrimination, which is still continuing. The Constitution of India has taken some steps like abolition of untouchability, given reservation to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, the lower strata, to uplift them, to make their lives better. It has had its impacts. It has had its shortcomings also. But it is not able to eradicate this kind of discrimination, and that is why those rapes happen, or those beatings of Dalit people happen, or students in the classrooms or students in the schools are not willing to eat alongside the Dalit students. So these situations are still prevailing. And that is why the statement has come, equality is not there, social justice is not there. So Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated. And writing on Twitter, now X, Udaynidhi Stalin said, I stand by my words. And these words should not be misinterpreted. Why I am calling for eradication of Sanatan Dharma? Because Sanatan Dharma enshrines caste system also, and due to caste system there is a lot of atrocities, inequalities there, social justice is denied. So this is basically the controversy. He then reportedly equated it with diseases like dengue, malaria and COVID-19 and called for its eradication. Now, what is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma, we'll decode it. What is the meaning of Sanatan? What is the meaning of Dharma? And then we'll form the meaning. Sanatan, which means which is without beginning or end, or which is everlasting, ongoing. And Dharma, which has no actual or direct translation into English, but yes, it comes from the word dhri. And dhri means to hold together or sustain. So Dharma is often interpreted as natural law. So everlasting natural law, or everlasting law which has helped us to sustain or hold together as a society. So this is, the meaning of Sanatan Dharma. Everlasting natural law, it can be understood as of now. And that natural law is, the objective is to hold together the society or sustain. Now, interpretations of the meaning of Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma as a whole translates into natural and internal way to live. It is basically describing the modern day Hinduism. Now, according to ISKCON, Sanatan Dharma is the duties which take into account the person's spiritual identity as Atman and are thus same for everyone. Duties like respect for others, tolerance, generosity, patience. These are the duties of the humans, and these should be followed by everyone. And if it is followed, then the society will remain intact. The society will be able to sustain itself. So this is what Sanatan Dharma teaches. Now, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, Sanatan Dharma consists of virtues such as honesty, refraining from injuring living beings, purity, goodwill, mercy, patience, forbearance, self-restraint, generosity and asceticism. All these are there. Religious experts note that following this code allows one to reach moksha. Now, if this code is followed, moksha will be attained. Moksha is basically enlightenment. So, this is what Britannica says. Encyclopedia Britannica says about Sanatan Dharma, and these are all the values or virtues which I have been talking about. Now, where are the teachings found of Sanatan Dharma? Now, the teachings of Sanatan Dharma, since it is modern day Hinduism, are found in various Hindu scriptures. It is found in the Vedas, Atharva Veda if I talk about. It is found in Mahabharata, Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita also. Now in Bhagavad Gita, actually the teachings of Sanatan Dharma or the science of Sanatan Dharma is being taught by Lord Krishna to Vivaswan. Vivaswan is the demigod of sun. Lord Krishna was also, instructing the same to Arjuna once the battleground in the battle of Kurukshetra. So this Sanatan Dharma actually has had historical significance, or I would say spiritual, backing, because it has been mentioned in these many religious scriptures. And that is why modern day Hinduism is, following the teachings of Sanatan Dharma, because those teachings are enshrined in these holy books. Noted followers of Sanatan Dharma: Mahatma Gandhi, second is Swami Vivekananda, and former Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde. Now let us look into what Mahatma Gandhi said. Mahatma Gandhi said, I am a Sanatani Hindu. He said that Sanatan Dharma is not like that frog in the well. That frog in the well has only this much area to cover. He said that Sanatan Dharma is like a wide ocean. And, it is the property of all humankind, no matter by what name it is called. Actually, those values or those virtues which we talked about, honesty, hard work, tolerance, generosity, which encyclopedia mentions. Actually, any human in the world, if it follows, that human follows these things, that will definitely make his life and the life of people around him better. That is the ultimate aim of religion. And that is why Mahatma Gandhi said that Sanatan Dharma is not like that frog in the well which has limited, dimension or limited area to cover. It is like a vast ocean. And anyone can, take the learnings from Sanatan Dharma. It is for all humankind. And if it is followed by all, definitely it will help us keep the world sustained. The principles of Sanatan Dharma can also be adopted by the modern governments. Vasudev Kutumbakam, for example, the world is one family. We want to keep the world sustained, the society sustained, has also been transcended from Sanatan Dharma. And this is our cultural richness, due to which or for which the world is looking towards us. But just before the G20 summit, Sanatan Dharma is in controversy. Is it a well thought out tactics of the government? Because this Udhayanidhi Stalin belongs to DMK. DMK is one part of the India alliance, which is the opposition. Anyways, let's see what Swami Vivekananda had to say. He was also a fierce believer and defender of Sanatan Dharma. He advocated tolerance towards other religions, but held that Sanatan Dharma is supreme. He did not advocate tolerance towards the abuse of Hinduism. So he said that we are tolerant towards other religion. This is what Sanatan Dharma teaches us. But Sanatan Dharma is above all. It is actually religion of all religions, kind of. Because these values, they are almost there in almost every religion of the world. And he also told that Sanatan Dharma teaches us tolerance. But if anyone is abusing Hinduism, which is purely based on Sanatan Dharma, then we should not be tolerant towards that person. So this was the viewpoint of Swami Vivekananda. Then former Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde, has also hailed this belief, saying that Sanatan Dharma is timeless and pure. There is nothing in it against any kind of people. Indeed, it originated when there was no other religious thoughts in the world. It is indeed the oldest, the purest. So this basically is what Sanatan Dharma is. It has been followed by many noted personalities all across the world, many Indians, but now, unfortunately, it is under controversy. So we'll have to look forward for what the government of India basically formulates a response to it, how it formulates a response to it, because there has been a meeting for it. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has also, clarified that it was purely for or against inequalities and, the social justice, which is actually a reality in today's world. But does actually Sanatan Dharma teaches us inequality and denying social justice? According to the principles we've learned, it does not. It is just that the interpretation of Sanatan Dharma in the later Vedic period, when it started, actually started worsening the situations or the conditions for the lower caste. So that is why it was basically criticized. So keep following it closely, but don't go too deep into it. You need to understand that as aspirant, what is important for you, what you can take out from this. And in this session, I've already taken out what is the most important for you guys. So you should be following, or you should be learning what to follow, what not to follow. The BHASHINI platform. It is an artificial intelligence AI based platform. Now what happens on this platform? It is a translating platform. You can translate one language to the other language. You can give inputs by typing, or you can give inputs by speech also. The AI program enabled in this will recognize your speech, translate it into words, and translate it into other languages, whichever language is required by you. It has been developed by the government of India. An example of, or I would say a component of, the digital public infrastructure which India is advocating a lot, which other countries are, admiring a lot. That India's Digital India platform or digital platform for this digital, I would say, infrastructure is very good. So this is what BHASHINI platform aims to deliver. And this BHASHINI platform has been placed strategically in the media room, or I would say the media hall, which is very big. Now the media personnels will come to know about it. They will spread about it from there only to their respective countries. And then in their respective countries, people will come to know about this, or people will come to know about the overall digital progress done by India. And actually, we have achieved a lot in this front. And now it is the time to showcase it to the world. So let us look into what BHASHINI platform is. It is an AI-based translation platform. It is displayed in the media house in the Bharat Mandapam to showcase India's digital prowess. Now about BHASHINI, it is a local language translation mission when it started. But now local language translation mission means India's local languages will be translated from one language to the other. Let's suppose English to Punjabi, or Hindi to Punjabi, Hindi to Gujarati, English to Gujarati, like this. But now major languages of the world like Spanish, French, Dutch and all, they also have been included in the BHASHINI platform. And reporters from all across the world can use this platform to translate in their respective languages. BHASHINI aims to build a national public digital platform for languages. It aims to make artificial intelligence and natural language processing, NLP it is called as, available in the public domain to all. Now, do we have access to this BHASHINI platform? Yes, we also have access to it. Where can we access it? I'll show you. This will help developers to offer an Indians easy access to the internet in their native languages. Now, many of the people who are there in remote areas do not know how to read English. This can be a game changer for them, but they have internet in their phones. Now, they can translate any text to their respective languages by using this BHASHINI platform. This will make internet more inclusive, or digital technologies more inclusive, and whenever anything becomes inclusive, it has a long-lasting impact, a positive long-lasting impact. So this is what It is there in this Bhashini. Apart from it, there is a separate Bhasha Dan section also. Bhasha Dan means if you want to contribute in translation or translating any word, there you can do that as well. The AI platform will pick that word and use it wherever it is being used. This is something which is also, bringing participation of people into this picture. So सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका प्रयास is enshrined in this Bhashini mission. How does it work? This project is available on this website www.bhashini.gov.in, and it is aimed to build and develop ecosystem where various stakeholders like institutions, industry players, research groups, academia and individuals can unite to maintain ever-evolving repository of data. Ever-evolving repository of data. It will be ever-evolving, and Bhasha Dan basically will make it ever-evolving because individuals will contribute that this word means this word can be translated into this. This is how it will be evolving. Training and benchmark data sets will be there. Open models, tools and technologies will be displayed over there. The contribution can be done in 4 ways. First is Suno India. Second is Likho India. Third is Bolo India. And fourth is Dekho India, where users have to type what they hear or have to validate text transcribed by others. So it is basically a platform, AI enabled platform. Its true success will only happen with the ardent participation of the people, Jan Bhagidari, which we call it. So it is being displayed over there in the G20 summit, the media house, and it will showcase India's digital progress to the world. So this is it from today's session. I will be meeting you with some more exciting news in tomorrow's session. Till then, keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Jai Hind.